this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. I know you don't have to tell me that you're having an awesome, a fabulous, a wonderful day. I know you are. You don't have to tell me because we know that. Because, you know, the thing about it is that in order for you to be in your purpose or in pursuit of your purpose, guess what? We have to have good things going on, and we have to have things that we perceive that is not good things, all right? But, you know, we all have to go through trials and tribulations. We have to go through things that we say, wait a minute, I don't like this. But we have to do that because it builds our character, right? You know, because we have to realize whatever the purpose that we're doing, the calling that we're doing, it's not about what's for you, it's actually for the other people. You know, in your mission statement that you put in your business plan, the mission statement that you put in your nonprofit package when you file for the 501c3, right? So it's not about you. I know you don't want to hear that because, you know, I'm starting to ouch before we even start. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, and I am the platform builder. Some people call me the be seen, be heard, get paid expert. But, you know, I have the awesome opportunity of being your host of Good Deeds Radio. We also have a TV show side as well. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I know you hear the southern twang, right? But we want to let you know what we are here to do is help you shine your light, guess what, to the world. And what that light is your dreams, your goals, your passion, your destiny, your purpose in life. That's what we do. That's what we do here. We help you share that information that's burning inside, that greatness inside. Yes. I love it. But, you know, I want to get to the question of the week, of the day for Dr. Renee, because we have a amazing guest that we want to bring forth very shortly. And we're so, excited because he's been on the show several times, and it's an honor and a privilege to have him here. But the question of the day for the Ask Dr. Renee. Now, this question is somewhat personal, but I tell people, you know, I can ask some personal questions, depending on what it is. So people don't realize this. I am a private person. And, you know, and certain things need to be said and things not need to be said. Amen? Okay, anyway, too much on social media. That's what I'm trying to say. The question was, Dr. Renee, about your family. They want to know a little bit about my family. I thought that was very nice. They wanted to know, and the B question was, how often do I spend time with my family? How important is that to me? So I just love it. I love it. But anyway, shortly, the only thing, I am from Birmingham, Alabama. I grew up in a Christian foundation. I'm just blessed that my mom and dad, they're living, and they just enjoying life. They really are. They listening in now, so they love to hear their little daughter to talk, but and actually be in my purpose. What they already knew inside. It just had to nurture it. They had to nurture it and build it. But I really, truly, I see my family as much as possible. We actually chat almost every day, at least me and my sister. As you know, my brother passed away about 5 years ago. And actually that pushed me all over into my ministry side. It was birthed kind of right after that. But it's very important. Of course, my first relationship, of course, is with our Heavenly Father. And that's just what I believe. My second relationship is the relationship with my families, and then it stems from that because the things I have in those two is actually how I know how to treat everybody else in my business, in the platforms that I create, how I instill things in other people. But that's it in a nutshell. I kind of went deeper in the gentleman that asked the question, but that's just in a nutshell. I truly honored to be part of their family. And, of course, with my last name, Sunday, you know what that is. So I bring joy, and light to people. But, you know, the ultimate light is our Heavenly Father, okay? Y'all going to make me say amen. But that's me. That's who I am. But I just wanted to ask the question. If you have a question, don't hesitate to send us the information. We will give the contact information as we go on throughout the broadcast. But that's the Ask Dr. Renee question. Now, we're going to proceed on. We actually have an amazing young man that's actually going to be here with us, you know, this evening, afternoon, depending on if you hear live or you actually listen to the archive, the podcast on iTunes, or you over on YouTube checking us out. But wherever you may be, we're going to actually have an amazing young man. His name is Larry White Sr. I mean, he's amazing. He's a Navy veteran. So we could talk about that and just hang out there. But also he's a CEO and founder of VIPeVENTS Concierge LLC. Now, I'm just tipping the iceberg. He has so many accolades. He has so many awards, so many achievements. But you know, one thing he loves to do is bring people together. And actually, similar to what I can say, be that purpose in life, that business owner, that, you know, whatever you got inside, you need to come on out, okay? But we're going to welcome none other than Larry White Sr. to Good Deeds. Are you there?
I am here, Dr. Renee Sunday. Thank you so much for having me on again.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, let's do this briefly. I know I missed a lot of things that we need to highlight, and I love to hear your amazing story. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, and then please, you can include anything. You know, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a hot guy. He got a lot of stuff going on. So tell us about that, because we want to really support you and just become involved in the things that you have going on.
Well, Dr. Renee Sunday, thank you. It's always a blessing to be on your show, and I appreciate the opportunity to have a platform to disseminate what God has put me on this earth to do, and you just mentioned it, connect people together by way of my events. I'm just coming off, I'm just coming off my Concierge Business Mixer Tour, where we kicked it off in Newark, Delaware. Then we headed to Chicago after that. And we went to Atlanta, and most of you may have just seen, we just finished up our Congressional Black Caucus VIP reception, just connecting people, talking about real issues as it pertains to social media, economic development, business development, community partnerships. We have an interesting president in right now, and the world is divided in so many different angles. So I try to bring people together and make them stay woke at the events so we can keep those partnerships going, and also make sure that we are looking at our millennials and our youth and trying to invest our time and dollars into the next generation that's coming behind us.
Wow. I just love that. I mean, because we have to stand. We actually have to. The thing about it, I love it. Would take the knee. You know, I'm actually, Good Deeds has an awesome opportunity of being one of the NFL media outlets. So, you know, I had to actually report on that. But the thing that I love that you said so amazing that, yes, we're going to do that, but we're going to actually take an action. We're going to actually do some things to actually, better ourselves. And I appreciate that you have taken that mantle to do that for others. But let me ask you this, because a lot of people love to develop platforms that they take around the different cities and stuff like that. Tell us what inspired you to do that, because that's an amazing just wisdom and knowledge that you want to actually take it on a tour to actually empower many, many people.
Well, great question, Dr. Sunday. The Lord put it on my spirit last October, said it's time for you to hit the road. You've been in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia, DMV area for quite some time. Now it's time for you to kind of spread the gospel in business to different markets to give people hope. After the election, so many people were in fear of, I can't start my own business. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Are we going to end up in war? And so with the Concierge Business Mixer Tour, we've been able to go from city to city, state to state, to really give people empowerment conversations on you can do this during tough times. We've been through things like this before, whether it be Vietnam or the Persian Gulf, and we have persevered through those tough times. And this time, too, shall pass. But back to your original question, to go on tour to empower the community, with business development and showing people how that matriculates into development and the empowerment. And I just needed to shout out just my team. It's too many people to acknowledge, but if they're listening, they know who they are, who've been able to go and, because I can't do this alone. I need a group of people to help me. And so it was a vision that was put on my spirit by God to go out to these different markets to help entrepreneurs struggling in business and give them social media, branding, and marketing tips. So absolutely. And we round out our tour October 14th here in Maryland, and that theme is called Deposit Your Dreams into Success. And so I know with your affiliate with the NFL, you've had to deal with some challenging issues. So as you can imagine, being a clergy, to be able to discern the human condition versus the Holy Spirit when you're you're jogged in between things, just let the Holy Spirit guide you so you can make the right spiritual decision even as it goes into business.
Yeah, you're right about that. Actually, just a side thing, people know that, it's amazing and how people, prophesy, people encourage you and stuff. I've kind of always have been in the marketplace, Larry, right? So I'm glad that you can actually recognize that. But people, we have to make sure, because I'm really called to actually help people have that balance. We do XYZ
Sure.
in church, which I don't have no problem with that, but we actually need to be, when we get out of there, we need to actually pay our bills. We actually need to birth the dreams that we have. So I thank you so much for that. But I want to ask you this because I think it's just what you said, branding and social media tips. It's so important. People love to ask me those questions as well about how important is branding and of course our lovely social media that we love. How important is that for our business, especially when you actually make the statement about struggling business? How important is that?
Well, it's very important, Dr. Renee Sunday, and it's a great question because your brand is all you have when it comes down to your business, when it boils down to integrity. What are they saying about you when you leave the room? So branding is the tip of the iceberg of your, it's a little bit about your logo and your website. But branding is that lasting impression that you want to leave people with your business. And then, of course, the marketing is your product and services, and then the advertising is what we're doing now by radio, social media. But the branding is just it's the head there, and you have to keep that brand intact because a lot of times at the 5-year mark, businesses are going out of business, liquidating their assets at the 5-year mark because something didn't go right with the branding. So I make sure the content, you mentioned folks were asking about your family. I am very particular what I put on social media because it could come back to bite you. But also, as entrepreneurs, we need to hold each other accountable, being on time. That's a part of branding. Are you one of those entrepreneurs that show up for a meeting? Are you one of those entrepreneurs that show up for a meeting late every time? It'd be that stigma. So I love that question, and we do teach that on our business mixer tour about the branding aspect of your company and your business.
Wow, I love it. I love it. But the thing about, I love when you said this, and I said I'm going to have to ask your permission to borrow that when I speak next time. When you said, even in this climate that we have, with who's in the office, the different, even on the local level, things have changed major in regards of our mayors, our governors, and even our city council. There's a lot of changes with that. Even the student board, I have to say that, the student, board of education. How can we as because unfortunately we've heard that we're statistics. I'm going to just, keep it real. That's what's been in the media. We've been heard that everybody's starting a business. Kind of talk to us about that because I love what you do when you empower people, and of course you're a great example of it as well. That dream, that greatness that's bottled all up inside. What do you suggest that we can do? I mean, because, of course, I tell people that we got to do the practical. But how can we actually get that out so we can actually get stuff established, that we can do it the right way and really brand ourselves, always going back to that B word, we can do it the right way?
Well, I like to look at it in several different ways. If you have a VIP reception like I had this past Monday at a restaurant, and you bring in great speakers to talk about different topics, that one event won't solve all the problems. So what needs to happen after that, town hall meetings. So you're putting people in the room to connect with each other, but follow up with a town hall meeting or a community event. 2 weeks ago, we had 2 chief of police from different areas come in, and we did backpack drives, and we did college prep. And so you got to constantly keep giving back to the community. And if I just can address something that really kind of touches on this, is that when desegregation started happening and the civil rights movement, was kind of coming to an end in the latter 60s, that's when a lot of the issues started. During civil rights, they took prayer out of schools, desegregations, and so a lot of folks that used to live in the hood, they moved out to the suburbs and say, hey, I made it, but they never reached back to the neighborhood to bring somebody with them. And I know that might be difficult, but at least if you go back and speak at a school career day. So what happened was in those bad areas, black and white, people were left there with no resources, no access to information. So when they start robbing each other and things like that. So we have to constantly keep going back to the neighborhoods where we grew up just to say we made it, no more crab in the barrel mentality. So there's several ways to take care of this is by having My Brother's Keepers initiative like President Barack Obama has done, and he made that to go down to the local level. And most importantly, there's 3 ways to really advocate for change and get things taken care of. You got to vote, you got to be a community leader or activist, or run for public offices. That way, if you can see an opportunity and not just be a part of the problem, but be a part of the solution by doing those 3 things: voting, be a community activist or a leader, or run for a public office so you can invoke the change from the top to the bottom, being a leader and being able to understand the way the law is written in legislation. So those are just a couple of examples there, Dr. Renee Sunday. Sorry to be long-winded on that one.
Oh, no, because that's powerful. I'm so glad you said that because a lot of people, I mean, really and truly, you have to remember back when we in high school, I mean, I think that most people did take government and economics. It's actually a lot that goes on in regards of behind the scenes, if you will, of a law coming to pass. Or even people, we saw it more, and I'm just be real, we saw it more with President Obama of how he was strategic in what he said, and how he showed the human side of being comforting to all the things that happened. He made sure that he showed, I mean, from my understanding, some of the speeches he ended up writing himself when it was a tragedy, different things that we saw in the media, because he wasn't going to say what they said. But I think what is happening, like you said so wonderfully, and with President Trump, it was so many agendas already before he got there, and then, of course, they're not concerned about the people. I think that's what the whole issue is. It's not concerned with the people. But let me ask you this, because I'm so glad that you have, again, I said this before, but I have to use the right word. You chose the mantle to empower people and actually give people a platform that they actually can move forward in their dreams and goals. And you mentioned briefly that you actually have this coming up very soon that you actually going to be doing in your local area. So tell us about that.
Absolutely. October 14th here in the D.C. area, we have Deposit Your Dreams into Success. And what that particular workshop half-day conference will entail is if you put your mind to it, you can do it. You have a God-given calling, on your spirit, then follow your dreams. It may take you a little while. You might still work a 9 to 5 and be that pseudo-entrepreneur, but Deposit Your Dreams into Success will focus on empowerment. It will focus on allowing people to understand sometimes you just got to jump off the cliff, like Steve Harvey said, and just step out on faith. As we know, the Lord will never leave you nor forsake you. So if you put your mind to it and use your God-given talent, you will be successful. So we'll be tapping into that inner spirit of folks that have a desire to start businesses but maybe not know how to do it or not know the difference between an LLC and LLP. We're going to break it down for them and also give them that access to information and tell them right here in the Baltimore area, you're going to go down to Preston Street. It's $150 to get incorporated, and we'll just walk them through that, and we'll talk to them about a business plan, a marketing plan, because a lot of times when you get that business going, you may have a really nice-looking website, some great business cards, but you have no clients. And so we're going to show them how they can start their business on a frugal budget and then go out and get some clients, because it can be very competitive here in the D.C. area where there may be several businesses much like yours. So we'll show them how to go to the Minority Business Council and see if there's a business just like theirs or similar within a 50-mile radius. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to go into a lot of topics like social media, driven success, wellness for leaders, and really empower entrepreneurs, white-collar and blue-collar folks on Deposit Your Dreams into Success, October 14th.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And my spirit kind of jumped there because we're working on here in Atlanta, our nonprofit is working on somewhat similar to that because, and you know, ladies and gentlemen, y'all, you know, I'm the motivator of the, I love to motivate and inspire, but what we need to do when we leave that place that we go to the events, Larry, we hiked, if you will, for about a week, but when that second week, guess what, we're not executing or we're not actually being implement what we actually have learned. So that actually kind of has sparked me that we're doing a similar event, kind of similar in regards in November here in Atlanta. But I just love it. What I'm going to do is, because I know, ladies and gentlemen, I have told him several times, I'm going to just put it outside the box now, that he is the amazing voice. He actually has the radio, TV voice. He has the Les Brown voice. He actually is dynamic in the things he do. Kind of share wherever you want to share from your heart as we come down to the end of, the show goes so quickly. So whatever you want to share out of your heart that we may have missed, that we actually make sure we need to capture. And then, of course, tell us how we can support you and the things that you do and how we can connect you also in regards of social media as well.
Well, absolutely. All the information of the upcoming events you can find on www.VIPeVENTS with an S, concierge.com/upcoming events. That's www.VIPeVENTS concierge/upcoming events. You can register for the upcoming event October 14th, Deposit Your Dreams into Success. Also, we have our upcoming cruise in 2018. Dr. Renee Sunday, I need you there for the cruise as we cruise with a purpose for empowerment to Bermuda in 2018. But I just would like to leave this integrity is everything to be able to get support by people over the past 5 years. I thank everyone who's followed my vision over the country, giving me an opportunity to speak and continue to have these events at a high level to reach out to the community. So I really appreciate everything that you all have followed me because I've had so many events from Black Tie Galas and everything else. So I just really want to thank all my followers, my supporters, my sponsors. Can't leave out the sponsors because they have skills to pay the bill. Thank you so much, Dr. Renee Sunday, and all the folks that are listening, including my family members.
Oh, wow. Well, let me ask you, actually, my engineer just sent me a question. Somebody sent a question in. So we got a little bit of time. And they wanted to know, and because the thing that stands out with all of your events is networking and actually being that person that you can know how to network and, network the right way or network efficient. They want to actually ask a question about that. How can you actually begin to do that and do it efficient? Because a lot of people, especially in Atlanta, I know up in your area as well, I think we have at least 5 or 6 in the Atlanta metro area a day. Even Saturday, even Sunday, even on, during the week. But how can we as business owners that we can actually network and make it be efficient, for both sides of the coin, not just on my end, but also the person and the people that I'm actually speaking to?
Well, that's an excellent question. I got started 5 years ago, and I used to go to networking events twice a month. I mean, things trying to see how I could build a network. And so the key to networking is really social media. You have to have a very good LinkedIn page that's balanced. If you go to my LinkedIn page, I have over 6,000 connections, all-star profile on LinkedIn. I see you up there as well, Dr. Sunday. Also, you have to have a really nice Twitter page. Okay, you got to have. It's not so much that you follow people, but they need to be following you. So I have over 5,000 followers on Twitter, and then I have another 5,000 on Instagram, and then I got about 30,000 on Facebook. So when you take those 4 social media platforms, that's about 60,000 people, and we call it an algorithm. I know some of you all are familiar with Hootsuite, where you can time your post to go out. I personally don't do that because I want to customize something for you, Dr. Renee Sunday. But the networking is really about social media, where you can click one button and hit 30,000 people. And as email is almost becoming obsolete unless you're in corporate America shooting an email to your coworker. So you have to go out to at least 2 networking events a month, meeting new people. Come out of your comfort zone, pass out those business cards, and you will see your network grow. Once your network start coming to your events and see the value and the good quality of your events, they'll keep coming back. You're going to lose some, you're going to gain some. It's just a part of the game. But you keep on, never give up, just keep on having them. I can remember when I did my first event, I had 5 people there, and I said, wow, Lord, what's going on? I advertised everything, but I didn't have enough people in my network. And so sometimes you have to join a boule or a chamber of commerce. You have to join organizations and pay dues so you can absorb their network so they can support them. When I really started becoming really, really popular in a good way is when I became the executive director for the 100 Black Men in Baltimore, because it gave me access to several different chapters of the 100 Black Men throughout the country. And when I started going to different events, I started just kind of putting my name out there from a business standpoint. So with social media, networking events, and also joining an organization, you build that empire. And then once you have some positive information, you can just really have your successful events. And that's the part of the networking to build that empire.
Yes, I totally agree with that, Larry, because people ask me how did we actually get on Oprah Winfrey and Bishop Jakes and the Harlem Fine Arts. I mean, seriously, we actually did that less than a year of being in Good Deeds. But the thing is, the thing is, you have to have that credibility. And then when you get on the telephone, as you see how wonderful Larry is able to express himself, it's very important that you be able to do that, because when Oprah Winfrey's team called me, they called me directly. I mean, they did not call my team. They called me directly, and I had to be able to explain to them what Good Deeds and what the platform builder and all that means. And social media, I mean, people do a lot of things on there, but the thing is, you are there to motivate and inspire people, and then people will trust you, right, Larry? They will trust you, and they actually, as the value that you give, and they'll actually continue to follow. Oh, my God, I just love this conversation. But, Larry, we want to thank you again first of all, for being in your purpose. I mean, we just can't go away without saying that. But we thank you so much for taking the time out again to be here with us on Good Deeds. And, of course, we would love to have you back more and more and more, because you actually bright the place up. You actually, because you tell us concrete information that we can actually apply to our life right now.
Dr. Renee Sunday, can I just give 1 or 2 shout-outs really quickly?
Of course, yes.
I want to thank R&B sensation Lovely Rowe, her and her band, my niece Tiffany Marcia, Venetia Boyd, who just was Entrepreneur of the Year last night at her event. I know a lot of other people are listening, and I thank you as well, but I did want to highlight those 3 folks, Lovely Rowe, Tiffany Marcia, my niece, and Venetia Boyd. It's just amazing when, they said, Larry, you're giving out some great information. I don't get on this radio to promote myself. I really get on this radio to have a platform that you have provided me, Dr. Renee Sunday. I haven't always gotten it right, so I'm continuously trying to be better, but these events are getting better each and every time folks come out and support me, and I just thank you for allowing me to be on the show, to give out some golden nuggets, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone October 14th, and thank you again for this interview today.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Woo, Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, I support. He's just amazing. I just love it. Every time he comes on the show, he's amazing. And his actual, the people really, people will support you when you actually bring in value. I could talk about that all night with my brand, right, in regards to that. But what I want you to do, the archive will be up. The replay will be up very shortly. We'll be on iTunes. It'll actually be on YouTube. It'll be, of course, on all the social media platforms, and, of course, on our website. If you want any information about advertising sponsorship with us, we actually you can go to our website, which is www.reneesunday.com. That's RENEE Sunday, SUNDAY.com. We have a lot of things coming up. If you're in the Atlanta area, we're going to start our Women's Fellowship back up. Actually, the first one is October the 19th. I'm excited. It's at a private location here in Atlanta. We actually the event I talked about earlier that you're gonna wake your purpose up, but then you're going to implement some things, okay? We're going to actually, that's going to be November the 19th, I think. No, 17th and 18th, forgive me, here in the Atlanta area. And then also, if you have a book inside, you got to get that out. We have a publishing company. We also have a nonprofit organization called Sunday Foundation. But, just like Larry said so wonderfully, the key is to actually help other people. And that's what I said at the beginning of the show, to help you shine your light to the world. And that's your dreams, your goals, your passions, and, of course, your destiny in life. I have to always say this every broadcast. You do have a calling. You do have a reason. One, you were born. You have a reason you're here right now. You have to do three things. You have to believe, you have to trust, and you have to walk it out. And y'all know what to say next. And the new people, we actually going to say our signature words we love to say. 1, 2, 3. Don't stop. We got to get it, right? And our website is www.reneesunday.com. But I love you. This is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. See you next time. Bye-bye.